Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to take off your Dow 18,000 hats and put on your Dow 17,000 hat. And the question is, how low will it go and how fast will it drop? Get ready to wax ecstatic about all things fiscal, financial, and economic.
There's a lot of cash out there all around the world. I'm scared of interest rates. I think they're going higher than lower.
The rise is coming, and probably more so September. I was always a believer it was going to happen November, December, but...
Stay cool. This is a THORnews presentation. Hit the button, baby.
Stay cool.
THORnews presents. Whereas other YouTube sites will tell you that a crash is coming in September because some crazy chick saw a 923 on a Simpsons episode and a Saved by the Bell episode, or they will just say Shmita. Why is the market going to crash? Shmita. At this point, I'm not disagreeing with their overall premise that there will be a correction/crash in September, though I could be wrong. Though I do want to remind you, I'm one of the only people on the planet who's gotten interest rates right for 6 straight years. And I'm still hanging on. And so, when I tell you that I think trouble is brewing, it is from a giant swath of data across all markets, equities, commodities, derivatives, and such butch. Alright, reason number 1. Oil. Pretty much the most steady commodity class in the last 15 years. Oil has crapped the bed over the last year. We went from $100 a barrel to 41. And if you look at this chart, it basically says we're at around the true price discovery part before they insanely manipulated markets to drive oil through the roof. And I have some of the finest sources when it comes to the oil industry out there. And it has been told to me that with new fracking techniques, we're going to have a lot of oil for a long time. Hey, guess what? Peak oil was a myth. At least anytime soon. So the oil pain has not washed out in markets yet. Trillions were lost. We have yet to see any major ramifications in the markets. Number 2, gold. It appears to me that gold peaked at its highest level around 2011, the middle mark between 2008 and September 2015. So gold peaked and then has been on a slow, steady decline, confounding many people in the gold bug religion. And yes, I think it's smart to keep 5 to 12% of your portfolio in precious metals. But I definitely don't think you should be loading up the truck, man. And so, going off the peak of gold, looks like we might hit a low in September. Number 3, markets today crapped the bed, crapped their pants, gave it up, disaster, turmoil. You had negative 358 in the Dow Jones, dropping it from below its high of above 18,000 to now 16,990, shedding negative 2%. The S&P shed 2.11%. And so how it usually happens is the Mars money, like the alien money, gets out first. And then the old musty money gets out second. And then old money gets out third. And then smart money gets out fourth. And by that time, it's a stampede for the exits. And there's no one to buy. So average Joe Q public gets left holding the bag. So at this point, for everybody, I said to a few in my close circle, like, dude, quantitative easing in America has ended. European quantitative easing has shown that all it's pretty much doing is keeping prices aloft. It's not adding to any growth in the markets. So it looks like 18,000 is about the peak right now. So I'd get out. I'd keep your powder dry, and I'd hedge against the next few months. What's the worst that could happen? You know, what are the odds the stock market's going to jump from 18 to 20 in the next 6 weeks? I would say those odds are very low. So now, here we are at 16,990. And once again, economically, I look like a genius. Remember, the main reason I don't talk about economics that much, even though I understand it on an extremely awesome level, because it's freaking dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someday, we're grabbing a beer, I'll tell you stories. Alright, point number 4. China. China's been crapping the bed for like 3-4 months. And granted, their markets skyrocketed to insane levels and now are plummeting back to realistic levels. So I think you would see the turmoil in China, then Europe, and then finally catch on over in America. In the whole currency war, like the last week, people have been talking about how China is devaluing its currency. And it's like, oh really? Well, what do you think we've been doing with $4.5 trillion worth of quantitative easing? What do you think European Central Bank has been doing? What do you think the Bank of Japan has been doing? It's been like a devalue war since 2008, man. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but that's true. These are my top 4 fantastic factors why I think a correction is coming. So take it with a grain of salt. If what normally happens, stocks will crash about halfway, which will be an excellent buying opportunity. Federal Reserve will announce quantitative easing 3.5, 4, whatever you want to call it. forever. And then they'll go back up again. Although you can't lower interest rates from 0 to lower. I mean, theoretically you can have negative interest rates, but then people are going to be keeping their cash in their bed. And then worst case scenario is all-out war, which usually is before or after a currency collapse, hyperinflation event. Which is the thing we've been trying to avoid for years. We know it's coming. It is systematically, mathematically, a certainty. Fiat currencies will one day lose all their power, and hyperinflation or some type of credit freeze. And nobody really seems to have a plan. At least not one for the people. And that concerns me greatly. That's why I was talking about the 100-year Earth Truce, where no nation shall war against another nation. And a global jubilee, where all debts are forgiven. We have to wipe the slate clean. Start over. And people may say, well, that sounds like a new world order. No, dude. It's like the only option humanity has, you know? Like there is no other way out of this mess. Countries have to agree that they do not want to destroy each other and mutually assured self-destruction, and that we all have amazing debt levels that can never be paid off, and that 7 billion people don't need to die because a handful of greedy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, God bless everybody. Just telling you how it is. You're welcome. Have a great day. Stay cool.